Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We are here with our second and last bulk bowl prediction video before we move in to individual prediction videos for some of the bigger bowl games. But guys, these are still going to be some fun games to watch. It's still going to be football on during December. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't love bowl season? Arguably the best time of the year. As promised, guys, we're here to predict every single bowl game right here only at the Gridiron Expert, where you get predictions for every bowl game, and only at thegridironexpert.com, where you receive the spread picks for every college football bowl game, every single one, and every single NFL playoff game. Only place you're going to find that, guys. The link for that down in the description below over on thegridironexpert.com. Make sure you go check it out. Take advantage of that holiday special, $29.99. Get you every bowl game and every NFL playoff game. It's the best price in the country, guys. Best deal in the country. We want to share it with you for bowl season. So go take advantage of it. Again, the link down in the description below. And as always, guys, we are so thrilled that you're here at our channel, The Gridiron Expert. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, and let's get ready for these slate of bowl games up here. Let's go ahead and dive into it, guys. Let's talk about the Independence Bowl between Louisiana and Houston. This is an intriguing matchup because these are two teams that had really good 2021s and then regressed tremendously in 2022. Both teams had double-digit wins last year. Louisiana ended up winning the Sun Belt. And obviously had Billy Napier as their head coach, who then later went on to Florida. Houston also won 12 games, made the American Championship, beat Auburn in the Birmingham Bowl, and now Louisiana sitting at 6-6, and Houston sitting at 7-5. So a major step back for both programs, and Houston the more shocking of the two. But we're still leaning the Cougars' way in this game, mostly because of the offensive edge that they have. Clayton Tune, their quarterback, has thrown for over 3,800 yards, 37 touchdowns to just 10 interceptions. Also leads the team in rushing with 491 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. He also has a star wide receiver with him, Nathaniel Dell, who, again, as of this video, we believe will be playing in this bowl game. You never know with so many opt-outs and transfers and things like that. But as of now, we expect Tune and Dell to both be playing. Dell has over 1,300 reception yards and 15 touchdowns on the year. Louisiana, they have Chandler Fields as their quarterback. Not nearly as good as Clayton Tune. He's leading an offense averaging just 27 points per game, compared to Houston's 37 points per game, a 10-point difference. And Louisiana's averaging about 100 yards less per game than Houston. The Houston weakness, guys, defensively is their secondary. I don't think Chandler Fields is going to have enough to take advantage of that. So the Cougars, who've had their fair share of wild games this year, finds a way to hold on. They win the Independence Bowl and clinch an 8-win season. The Hawaii Bowl on Christmas Eve, the only Christmas Eve football you're going to get, and it's going to be a fun one. Middle Tennessee and San Diego State. It's really tough to always pick the Aztecs. You never know what you're going to get with San Diego State. But you know what? I'm going to pick them today because their defense typically does come through. The Aztecs defense, guys, is what they're known for. They're only giving up 20.2 points per game. They're giving up just 335 total yards per game. You look at Middle Tennessee State. They're giving up over 290 passing yards per game. San Diego State giving up just 170 passing yards per game, which isn't bad at all. So I don't expect Middle Tennessee to have much success through the air. And you look at Jalen Moyden for the Aztecs. While the passing game isn't tremendous for San Diego State, I think he's going to be able to do enough against a defense that's giving up nearly 300 yards per game. It's pretty porous. Even a mediocre quarterback can take advantage of that, and I expect Jalen Moyden to do that for the Aztecs. Typically, guys, San Diego State does show up for their bowl games. They did it last year. They really weren't expected to win much against UTSA. But the defense shut down the Roadrunners. They got the win there. Also, San Diego State has played significantly better teams throughout their schedule this year than Middle Tennessee State, whose last 4 wins to end the year all came against teams with losing records. So I like the Aztecs. They're more battle-tested. They've got a better defense. They're going to get the job done in Hawaii. Keep in mind also, before you judge us or anything, San Diego State also has wins against Toledo, the MAC champions, and San Jose State, who finished with 7 wins in the Mountain West. So 2 quality wins there, arguably better than any win on Middle Tennessee's schedule, maybe outside of Miami, who also finished with a losing record. New Mexico State and Bowling Green in the Quick Lane Bowl. This is going to be an interesting one. I want to give a shout out to my man, New Mexico Noah. If you're watching this, congrats on your Aggies making just their second bowl game since 1960. How about that? Second bowl game since 1960, and they did it in year 1 under new coach Jerry Kill. That's impressive, guys. They got the waiver to go. They played Valparaiso on conference championship week, got it. So the Aggies come in at 6-6. That's pretty dang impressive. The Falcons, though, give them credit too. They're in their first bowl game since 2015. So the Aggies started 1-5, finished 5-1, righted the ship to get to bowl eligibility. But while it's a great story, you look at who they played. They beat New Mexico, UMass, Lamar, Liberty, and Valparaiso. Liberty, the more impressive victory, winning that one by 35, but 2 of those wins coming against FCS teams. They needed a waiver to get to this point. So not as impressive, whereas Bowling Green, while they're in the MAC, not the best level of competition, but certainly has played tougher teams than what New Mexico State had to do to get to this point. You look a little bit deeper at the numbers, guys. The Falcons are averaging 236 passing yards per game behind Matt McDonald, a veteran quarterback who's thrown for over 2,600 yards and 22 touchdowns. You look at New Mexico State, they're going to be down to their second string quarterback in this game. I just don't expect the Aggies to get much going offensively. Even though Bowling Green's defense is pretty bad, I just don't think the Aggies are going to be able to move the ball as much. They struggle with that this year. They'll struggle again in the Quick Lane Bowl. Give me Bowling Green in an ugly game, but they win the Quick Lane Bowl to clinch a winning season. Should be interesting, guys. Diego, again, New Mexico State, Diego Pavia transferring out of the game. Gavin Franks, he did start 5 games, but has not been the starter for a while. He's going to be the starter for the Aggies in this game. Don't think they're going to have enough to move the ball in it. Camellia Bowl, Georgia Southern, Buffalo. Camellia Bowl or the Kyle Van Treese Bowl. Kyle Van Treese, the quarterback now for Georgia Southern, was the quarterback at Buffalo last year. So that's a really intriguing bowl matchup here. Both teams coming in at 6-6. And Kyle Van Treese has thrown for over 3,900 yards and 25 touchdowns in year 1 with the Eagles and year 1 with new head coach Clay Helton, formerly, of course, with USC. You look at Georgia Southern, guys, the Eagles are averaging 33.7 points per game and 328 passing yards per game. In years past, it was unfathomable with the Eagles typically running the triple option. Clay Helton came in, changed it, and has done a phenomenal job in doing so. You look at Buffalo, averaging 29 points per game, but the offense wildly inconsistent. They started the year off 0-3, won 5 straight games, finished the year 1-3. They needed a 16-point comeback against Akron just to go bowling. If they don't get that, UNLV is in a bowl game. Instead, the Bulls get it. I look at Kyle Van Treese and the Georgia Southern team, guys. They've been competitive for the majority of the year. They have a phenomenal offense, one that is relatively consistent, averaging nearly 470 yards per game. I think Van Treese does just enough and puts up a decent amount of points on his former team. The Eagles get the win and clinch a winning record in year 1 under Clay Helton. Memphis, Utah State. First Responder Bowl. Both teams coming in at 6-6, but Utah State certainly the more disappointing team in this game. The Aggies last year, they won 11 games. They won the Mountain West. They beat Oregon State in their bowl game. It was a fantastic year in year 1 under Blake Anderson, and now they regress all the way to 6-6, and that was expected. No one really thought Utah State would replicate a double-digit win season, but all the way back to 6 wins, maybe it wasn't what people had in mind. Memphis in this game, guys, though, they own the significant offensive edge, and that's going to ultimately give them this win. The Tigers are averaging nearly 35 points per game. Utah State averaging just 23 points per game. They're also averaging 421 yards per game. Seth Hennigan, phenomenal at quarterback, over 3,200 yards and 19 touchdowns. They also have a star running back in Jay Ducker, who's a leading rusher in the country. Last year, transferred to Memphis. I expect him to run all over Utah State, a defense giving up 198 rushing yards per game. So it'll be close for a little while, but Memphis will ultimately wear down Utah State, and Ryan Silverfield and the Tigers will get a winning season. Again, Memphis wants to be better, but you can't complain with a winning year and a bowl victory to go on top of that. Finally, guys, Ohio versus Wyoming in the Arizona Bowl. It really is a shame that Curtis Rourke is not going to be playing in this game for Ohio. Got injured in the season finale, missed that MAC championship game against Toledo, which the Bobcats lost by 10. It's a shame. C.J. Harris looked phenomenal against Bowling Green in the finale. Did not look good against Toledo in the MAC championship game. He was 17 for 31, 163 yards and an interception, no touchdowns. Wyoming, they've got a pretty strong defense. What else would you expect under Craig Bowl? They're just allowing 23.4 points per game. Wyoming's offense is abysmal, but they're a team that wants to bully you up front and run the football. And that's exactly what they do with Titus Swin, who has over 1,000 yards on the year and averages 188 rushing yards per game. I expect Wyoming to wear down this Ohio defense, guys, that, again, allowed 236 rushing yards in that championship game to Toledo, and an Ohio defense is going to get very worn out because their offense won't be able to sustain drives. Wyoming wears them down in the Arizona Bowl, and they clinch an 8-win season. Again, I'd probably pick Ohio here if Curtis Rourke had been playing. I think Ohio wins the MAC if Curtis Rourke doesn't get hurt. So a very promising year for the Bobcats ends with 2 straight losses, mostly due to the injury of their quarterback. And it's really, really unfortunate. But give credit to the Cowboys for getting this win here, another 8-win season for Craig Bowl and company. So there you go, guys. This is our last bulk video. We just predicted 13 bowl games in 2 days. Starting tomorrow, we go to individual videos. We go down to about 2 bowl games a day. Full, dead-on, deep analysis on some of the top bowl games of the year. Still have a lot of content left, so do not miss out. Again, right here at the Gridiron Expert, we'll be predicting every single bowl game. We've already done 13. The rest, right here on the channel, spread picks for every game, including the 13 we've already predicted, will be out on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Make sure you go check it out. The link down in the description below. Go sign up for that holiday special, only $29.99. It gives you every college football bowl game and every NFL playoff game. You do not want to miss out on that deal. Again, the link down in the description below. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.